today's watch review, we're talking about the Invicta Akula model number 30197. Let's get right into it. Starting off with price, there's several different prices for different styles and colorations. For me personally, I got this for $195 on eBay before taxes. So it came out to a total of $220 out the door. Going over some dimensions across the main case from 9 to 3 o'clock, including the crown, we get about 59 millimeters, and then a case depth or thickness of just under 16 millimeters. So this is quite a large watch. For weight in grams, or sorry, we'll start off with ounces, just over 10.5 ounces or 305 grams. Fairly dense watch here. Here is the wrist shot, and just as a reference, my wrist is 7.5 to 8 inches. So, you know, the fact that this watch is taking up a lot of real estate kind of just gives you a good idea of what to expect. Here's a side-by-side comparison with the Seiko Tuna, also just to give you a reference of its size. And a more popular watch, here is the Invicta Pro Diver. And there you go. So I wouldn't say this is like obnoxious as far as size goes, but it's definitely going to be a larger watch compared to your average, more moderate sized timepieces. As far as the internals go, we're looking at a NH35A movement, so very popular and very reliable automatic movement that does include the date window right there, and I've had no issues with NH35 ever. You've also got this beautifully done screw down crown. I think they did a great job with it. As far as fit and finish and overall quality goes, it is solid. You know, it's very easy to screw out and screw back in, and it's just overall a pleasant experience using the crown. Going back to the main dial, you've got this really good looking pinstripe design here, definitely inspired by the Patek Philippe Nautilus. However, the Patek Philippe has horizontal stripes, whereas the Akula has these vertical stripes. And I just really like it. I think it looks very classy. And on top of those pinstripes, you've got these applied indices that do have lume on them. However, the lume is not that great. It's there, but it's, you know, going to burn out very quickly. So if your priority is lume, I definitely don't recommend this Invicta. And then on top of that, you've got a mineral crystal, which unfortunately at this price range, I don't think there's an excuse to have anything other than sapphire, or at least something of better quality than mineral crystal. Also my opinion, but you know, there you have it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the caseback as well. So there's the exhibition caseback. Really cool looking. I prefer a solid caseback. I don't really like see-through casebacks, but you know, these display casebacks look cool in their own way, so I can't complain about that. 200 meters of water resistance as well, so I think that's just a fantastic specification. No complaints there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the lume. As you can see, there is lume, but it's not the greatest, and it's definitely not going to last for the duration of the night. Taking a look at the bracelet, I think they did a fantastic job with the bracelet. It's solid. The two-tone finish is absolutely gorgeous with the H links and then the gold center links right there. My only complaint is the quality of the clasp. You know, it's a solid clasp, basic standard fold over clasp, but I would have preferred a milled steel just because this doesn't really accurately represent the quality of the rest of the watch. So it almost just seems like they used like spare parts to put this together. Yeah, my only complaint. I mean, it still functions great, and I think many people agree that this is just a great looking bracelet. So now just going over my personal thoughts. On my first impressions video, I said that this is probably one of my favorite watches so far. And you know, that's a bold statement from me, but it's completely subjective. And I gotta be honest with you, still, it's up there. You know, saying something is my favorite, you know, that's impossible because I love all of my watches in different ways. But I guess One thing I will say is that this is my favorite buy for the year of 2020. I don't know what it is. Just sometimes a watch just calls to you. It just clicks with you. And I think the blue dial with the two-tone stylings here, it's just my thing. I think everybody has their own style. So, my review of this is obviously going to be positive. As far as quality goes, I have no complaints. Just the overall feel of it. It's not too heavy. It's not too light. It's just right for me. Even with the main dial, I think it's absolutely beautiful. The vertical pinstripes really complements the round bezel shape. And then you've got this case design, which has obviously been inspired by the Nautilus. I like this one better though. It's a little bit more bold and it just fits my wrist right. For having an 8-inch wrist, this watch has got the dimensions that I desire. If I had to pick 2 negative things to say about this Akula, it would be 1, the mineral crystal. I don't think that there's any excuse for really any watch company to put out mineral crystals anymore, especially because sapphire crystals aren't that expensive. And then this fold over clasp, it just doesn't fit the overall style of the watch. So to summarize my thoughts, I think that the Invicta Akula is definitely a large watch like most Invictas are, but it's not gaudy. It's got a lot of gold on it, but it doesn't look tacky. And the contrast between the colors and then the polished and brushed finish really give it a luxurious, elegant look, while also still kind of looking like a tool watch. So to sum it all up, for those of you that have been interested in this watch, I highly recommend it. I cannot recommend this watch enough. For those of you that this might be a little bit too big, then fortunately there's thousands of other watches for you to pick from in the same price range. But for those of you that like the look of it, definitely recommend it. So that's all I got to say. I hope you enjoyed this review, and make sure to catch into my next episode, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.